This is a 1999 CRT television with a VCR built in. Now, there's nothing really special about this, except one thing. You can use a Nintendo Switch on it. Now, obviously it doesn't support HDMI. This television does not support HDMI, which is what the Nintendo Switch needs to run. So, let me show you how I worked around that. So, right here we have the Nintendo Switch. It's all set up. It's connected, and just showing you that it works and that I'm not, messing with the footage and just playing a video. Kind of hard to do this with one hand. Just to show you that it is actually working. And yeah, it works. Everything works okay. But let me show you how I actually did this, okay? So, obviously, the Switch supports HDMI. The HDMI cord runs down, and obviously it doesn't have a place that I'm gonna turn that off. But it doesn't have a place to connect up to the TV because the TV does not have an HDMI port. So, hang on, let me turn this on. It goes down into here, and this right here is a HDMI to RCA, and obviously this television supports RCA. You can buy these on Amazon for relatively cheap, maybe 12 bucks. I'm not even going to provide a link in the description just because they're so easy to find. So yeah, it connects through USB. You plug it in, and then it starts working. And it converts the HDMI to RCA, and the RCA cord runs up and it plugs into the TV up here, which gives you the screen, just like that. Now, let me show you a few things that you would need to do to get this set up properly. Hang on. You need to go to TV resolution. And so you don't need to change the TV resolution settings. You can both set these to automatic, but you need to adjust the screen size, because normally if I put it to 100%, half the screen is going to be cut off. As you can't really see it, but hang on, you can tell that half the screen is cut off on it, which is obviously not what you want. Wait, I'm dumb, I didn't change the setting. But if I set it to 100%, obviously you can see the arrows are not cutting in, which is supposed to mean the corner of the screen. Let me just open this up. Yeah, you can see that this is like cutting off. This is cutting off. This is cutting off. You don't want that, obviously, because it's gonna start cutting off the game. So you have to adjust it and make sure the arrows align to the end of the screen. I use 92, but it's different on all TVs, all CRTs at least. So I set it to 92, but it's gonna be different for everyone. But yeah, you don't need to change the TV resolution or anything like that. You don't need to change anything else, but this is important. If your television does not have red cables in front or in the back, and it's just these two cables, you need to set, well, you don't need to, but it's highly recommended that you set the TV sound to mono. And obviously mono, if you know what mono means, it's one signal. Obviously if you're using video and audio and it's mono, you need to set the switch to mono, or it'll just be coming through one speaker, or it'll just be playing the left channel through both speakers, and you don't want that. So you want to make sure it's set to mono. But obviously I don't need to do that because I have white and red cables in the front, because this is a newer 1999 CRT, so I can set it to stereo. I wouldn't set it to surround sound or anything like that. I would just set it to normal stereo. Okay, another thing is that, so the Switch, okay, this is a little bit technical, but not really. The Switch renders at 16.9 aspect ratio, which is normal for a flat screen, almost, well, not almost, but most flat screens, televisions now, are 16.9, which is basically, the simplest way to describe it is a rectangle. It's a rectangle, it's a bigger screen, but most CRT televisions, some are actually 16.9, but most are 4.3, which is like a square, as this one is right here. So what the HDMI to RCA converter, or the television itself needs to do, obviously, to make it fit properly, is it squishes it down to the television. So as you can see, this isn't that big of a deal, but it does make the the characters in game, the game seem a little bit squished because it's forced into 4.3 aspect ratio. You can see here on the menu, these aren't squares, these are, like rectangles, like squished rectangles and stuff. But besides that, it's not really a big deal. It doesn't really affect anything in game, but it just kind of, some people, might see that as a downside, but really it really isn't, because it's, once you actually start playing it, it's very normal. Once you start playing it like this, it's kind of low quality, obviously, because it's on a CRT, but it works nonetheless. You can see that it's running, the audio works, the video obviously works because you're watching it right now. I'm showing you me pressing the buttons is because, input delay, input lag. Most CRTs don't really affect, they don't really suffer from input lag, but since we're running it through a HDMI to RCA converter, there might be some input lag, but I can't tell any input lag. I don't think there is any. So that's a plus, that there's virtually no input lag that you can really tell. But yeah, nonetheless, it will work properly. I'm gonna set down the camera so I can actually show you me playing the game a little bit, so you'll get a feel for how it works. Okay, it was very hard to set up this setup, so if the entire screen doesn't show, I'm sorry. That's just because I had to position my camera correctly so it would show without me holding it. But yeah, I'll show you some gameplay. Just because why not? That's probably what you're coming here for. Yeah, but every game will work on a CRT, just like how every game would work on a normal Switch,